Hey, Ron Douglas here. Decided I'd go live. I just came back from a 3-week trip in Egypt and Morocco. Morocco was first for about 10 days, and then Egypt for 10 days, and then we had a day of traveling. So it was a amazing trip, longest trip I've ever been on. I think my limit is about 14 days before I start missing home and missing my dog Lucky and missing the kids and missing my bed. But it was worth it, and we did so many things. And there was some business lessons that I took away from a few of the different tours. They all had the same formula. It's very similar to a formula that we use for webinars, and I'm going to talk about how that formula worked out. But first, I want to say I'm super grateful for everything, for all my blessings, for life, for this life that I live. Because I've seen some things over there. The level of poverty, the situations that people are in. That most of these folks, on average, make about $500 a month in Morocco. I was told. So I was there, giving out money where I can and helping out and contributing to the local economy over there. But these folks, if you think there's people living in poverty in the U.S., those people are rich compared to the people out there. So I'm just super grateful to be in the situation that I'm in and blessed to be able to do what I do. So we saw a lot of stuff. We saw the Sahara Desert. We spent a night in a luxury camp in the Sahara Desert. We had like tents with bathrooms and air conditions and beds and stuff. That was cool. Um, we saw all the different parts of Morocco. We went on a road trip all around Morocco. We went to started at Casablanca. We went to Marrakesh. We went to Fez. We went to all these different places. Sahara Desert. Um, we went to Chef Shawan, the Blue City in Chef Shawan. That was amazing. We climbed the mountain and saw the sunset in Chef Shawan. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Um, One of the in Egypt, we did all the touristy stuff. We saw the pyramids. We took pictures of the pyramids. You can see it on my Facebook page. We went to the museum with all the mummies. That was really cool. Um, what else did we do? We took a cruise. We actually took a 4-day cruise down the Nile River. So we cruised down the Nile River from Luxor to Aswan, and then got off in Aswan, and we saw the Nubian village, and we saw a lot of the uh, artifacts and different sculptures, and it was just surreal. And we stayed in this hotel called the Sofitel. It's a hotel where Winston Churchill stayed, where a lot of celebrities stayed. It's just amazing. It's kind of like a Sandals, but in Aswan, and it's right on the Nile River. So we had a view of the Nile River from our room. So yeah, I'm still a little jet lagged. I'm like going to sleep at 7 p.m. and waking up at 2:30 a.m. like every day. I'm trying to force myself to stay awake longer and longer so I can get back to normal times. But I'm actually getting sleepy right now. I'm still jet lag is a serious thing. I never had jet lag really before until spending 3 weeks over there. So what's the lesson? So we went on some tours. One of the tours was in Fez. It was a tour of Fez, and then we ended up in a ceramic shop, and it's like one of the most famous ceramics places where they make all the different. So in Morocco, they have a tagine tagine bowls that they make everything in these tagines, and that's where they make them in this shop. So we get there. We have this tour guide. She's very nice. She's obviously an expert on all things Fez and Morocco and everything. And she shows us around. She teaches us some stuff. Then she takes us as part of the tour to this famous pottery shop. The name of it is called Fez Blue Art. You could actually look it up on Etsy and see some of the stuff they have available. And they walk us through how they create all the different pottery products by hand. So they're making some amazing things, fountains and pots and flower plants and all type of different stuff, little ashtrays and plates and dinner plates and pots and pans and tagines. all these different things they're making by hand, and it's showing us the history of it all. And this one guy was there 27 years, and he had this picture up on the wall when he first started, and he was a young guy. And then you look at him, he's 27 years later, he's still there making this stuff by hand. And then they tell you about like all these celebrities that come there and buy these products. So it's super amazing. It's like wow, and it makes you want to buy it. And then you're there with your whole group, right? Your whole group, and people are buying stuff, right? So people are buying stuff. You want to buy stuff. It's a great souvenir to take back home, an authentic Moroccan plate or ceramic dish or ashtray, whatever you want to buy, um, handmade from Morocco. Like it doesn't get more authentic than that. So it makes you want to buy it. And that's another thing. So I'm going to summarize what all this stuff has to do with marketing in a second, but just the whole thing. And then the tour is going to be over. So you have to leave, right? So there's kind of like an urgency to get something and go because the bus is waiting. So you only have a certain amount of time to buy these things. And all these things are premium priced. It's like premium priced products. So you can get it off of the street in Morocco much, much cheaper. But they tell you ahead of time, like this is the authentic, this is the stuff, this is the real thing right here. If you get it off the street, it may or may not be authentic. It may be, fake. So automatically you see this as a premium product and an opportunity. So what does that have to do with marketing? And it's the same. It was the same sales process where we went to a leather shop where they make leather, and they had a factory in the back where they take pigeon poop and curate the leather, the dead leather skins in these bowls, in these big containers, and they make it that way. And they tell you how to make it from hand. And it's authentic, and it's the same process wherever we went. We went to another shop where they took us to. Where they were selling spices and fragrances and different topical rubs, and all these different topical rubs did different things. Like if you had arthritis, this is good for that. If you had this, if you had that, they had a solution for everything, like a cure. And so I had it written down here. So if you go back to the Moroccan Fez uh, pottery shop example, it has a lot to do with a webinar, right? First, you had authority, right? The authority is the person telling you. Well, first, let me start off with first. There was you were referred to them by somebody you know, like, and trust, right? So the tour guide, you spent time with them, got to know, like, and trust them. They referred you to them. They already said that this is the premium product. This is the real deal. So you walk in there, you know, having been referred by this person, and that this person gets an affiliate commission. So we found out later that they get a commission for bringing us there on anything that we buy, right? So it's kind of like the same thing with an affiliate promoting your webinar. He has an audience. The audience likes him or her, and then he kind of gives you that likability, defers it to you, like, hey, this guy, this is my guy, he's the real deal, right? So just like a webinar, right? The other thing was, so the person has authority, so they know Morocco better than anybody. They're locals there. So when they tell you this is a real deal, these are premium products, this other stuff is fake, illegitimate, you tend to believe them, right? They're the authority. So you walk in with that. And then there's a story, right? There's a story behind the whole thing. The story of how they create all this stuff. Story about how the guy's been working there 27 years, right? So there's a whole story behind it. And like, wow, this is how this done. It's a story about how all the like a lot of people buy from them. They are the source, and they've been doing it a long time. And what these particular tagine pots, whether are made, they're used for, what these different products are used for. So there's a one big story that captures your attention, that makes it all legit for you. And they talk about the quality of the product being top notch, quality, handmade, so you get that effect. They show you a demonstration, so you see the products being made by hand, a demonstration of it, right? So how can you apply that with your marketing? The more you can demonstrate something and get people's attention and get them to watch you demonstrate something that they potentially want, the stronger that marketing is. Uh, Craftsmanship goes into quality, and then premium pricing, right? People want to buy premium things that you can't get elsewhere. Like if there's a reason for the premium pricing, it's handmade. They have the experience. It's the authentic thing. It's from Morocco. You can't get it elsewhere. All these things lead to the premium pricing, and people feel like I just bought something amazing. This is premium, right? So that has a lot to do with it. Then, as I mentioned, the scarcity. You can't get this elsewhere. You got to buy it from them. The urgency to buy, you got to get it before, people are waiting for you. You got to buy before you got to get back to the bus on this tour. So all these things are part of webinars. Like, if you think about the same thing, if you have these components in your webinar, you have a strong presentation, authority, somebody referring you. They say people, if a customer that's referred to you, I think it's like 2 times more likely to be a loyal customer than someone who you just meet on your own. Uh, the story behind it, if you have a good story in your presentation or in your sales, in your marketing, your quality, if you can exhibit quality and craftsmanship and command premium pricing, if you could demonstrate, if you could have some type of scarcity and urgency, some type of reason for them to buy right then. And also the social proof. There's a social proof aspect of it because everybody's there buying stuff. You see all your friends, they're buying stuff. They tell you about these celebrities. One of them was Jonathan Majors, who starred in the movie Creed 3 recently. Well, not recently, but the latest Creed movie. He was there. He talked about what he bought. So it's that type of social proof. Like, if he's buying stuff, I want to buy it too. Um, you get to know, like, and trust your tour guide, and you also get to know, like, and trust the person that's telling you the story about how all this stuff gets made. So that's a major part of it. If people get to know, like, and trust you through your stories on a webinar. And yeah. So the other thing is, so if you think about the person, that the tour guide that brought you there, right? It would be just like a tour guide, an affiliate promoting a webinar, right? They told you this is the place to be, here's where you need to go, and they brought you there. So you're on this webinar presentation. Just so the webinar is essentially the shop, right? It's the same thing, like the place where they're demonstrating and selling at the same time. So those are all the factors that went into that. And needless to say, we spent way too much money in there buying different Moroccan dishes and different things. But it's worth it, and we get to tell a cool story, and we get to have something that shows, here's what we got from Morocco. It's authentic, it's handmade, and we have a good takeaway. And every time we see it, it gives us a good feeling and good memories. So how can you apply that to your marketing? Think about all the different elements that went into that, and that will produce a winning campaign for you. And that's also the power of webinars, right? Webinars enable that type of sales process to happen in a short 60-minute, 90-minute, period of time, which is why I love them, which is why, I'm kind of like the webinar guy, which is why I'm wearing the shirt. And we have this event, WebinarCon, coming up November 3rd to the 5th. I'm going to be talking more about this type of stuff and how you can apply it to your business at WebinarCon. So go to webinarcon.com. And if you have a product that you sell, anything that you can use a webinar for, this would be the event for you. If you have an existing webinar and you want to get affiliates to cross promote or promote it directly, this is the event to be at. It's the #1 event for webinar sellers, online webinar marketers. So I'll just leave it at that. Short and sweet. Hopefully you got something good from this. This is actually my very first time going live on my own platform on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Just knock out some content right quick. I didn't really put any bells and whistles on it, but hopefully what I shared with you serves you well. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Ron Douglas, webinarcon.com.